my name is Clarke, and I'm the owner of Sunrise Soap Company. We're located in York, Pennsylvania, in the heart of downtown. York is the factory tour capital of the world, in case you didn't know that. So I'm a soap maker, and we make a lot of other things besides soap. Today we have a lot of things that we're going to be doing, so hopefully you'll be able to stay with us the whole time, and it's a really exciting place around here. Any store-bought soap is not really a soap at all. It's a detergent bar. It's animal fat, there's petroleum in it, there's chemicals, and there's other things. At the very end, they pour salt in the batch, and they scrape the top off, and that's the bar of soap that is being packaged and sold to you. It's a detergent bar, okay? They've stripped the moisture out of it. It's called glycerin, and that's actually, the glycerin is what they're putting in the lotions. So that's why people are usually dry and itchy and need lotion. If you're using Sunrise soap, your skin is not dry, your skin is not itchy, and you don't need lotion. You're actually putting a ton of moisture into your skin with the 7 basic ingredients that I'm using in the soap. So let's take a look at some of the ingredients. This is cocoa butter. This is one of our 7 basic ingredients that we use. Cocoa butter is totally awesome. Of course, everybody probably knows about it. It smells like chocolate. Oh gosh, I wish you could smell it right now, but you can't. This is shea butter, another wonderful ingredient. Shea butter is actually from the carrot tree in Africa, and it's very healing. Same with cocoa butter. They have actually a lot of the same properties as far as healing, ton of moisture, stuff like that. Really, really good high quality ingredients. This is coconut oil. Coconut oil melts at 76 degrees. So you can tell it is cooler than 76 in here because this is kind of a solid. And that melts at 76. Coconut oil is a naturally high lathering oil. So is castor oil. So we're starting with our 7 basic ingredients, and we're going to show you right now. Tammy's in the back weighing and chiseling ingredients so that we can start melting the soap, the ingredients of the soap, and starting the process of soap making. Usually it takes, we do about over 200 pounds of soap a week. So usually what we do is we try to make soap maybe four times a week, sometimes about 10 batches a day. And it's a process. We come in the morning, and basically we take all the ingredients that we need and we take them out of the boxes. Let me show you how we get these. A big box of cocoa butter. This is 25 pounds. So we just got this in right there. So 25 pounds of cocoa butter. We'll go through that in about 2 weeks. And not only are we using cocoa butter in all the soaps, but we're using cocoa butter in a lot of other things. Lip balms, lotion bars, body butters, bath fizzies, package-free scrubs. Some of the things we'll be making today. We use cocoa butter a lot, so we go through it really, really, really fast. Very good ingredient. Okay, so let's get back to the soaps. So when you're using our soaps, your skin is not going to be dry, it's not going to be itchy, you're not going to need lotion. That's the difference between a store-bought soap and my soap. Okay, the difference between this soap and other homemade soapers is we're using 7 basic ingredients. Sometimes other soap makers are using 1, 2, or 3 ingredients. Okay? So let's keep that in mind. So what happens is I did this, we made this last Saturday. Oops, a couple days ago. And I'm coming in today, and we're taking it out of the mold. So this is how we do this. It just snaps out right like that. The bottom falls out, and there we go. Okay? So I want you to hold this and see how much it weighs. How much do you think it weighs? It's about the size of a newborn baby. Oh, no, that's wrong. 7 pounds, 10 ounces is what this weighs, okay? So then the next process that we do is we're gonna take the wax paper off like this, and hopefully it comes out smooth. That's what the bottom looks like. We put 2 different colors in this. This is a watermelon soap. We need to put the wax paper in for a couple reasons. Number 1, so it doesn't stick to the mold, so it doesn't leak out of the mold. There, that's coming off really nice. And then, so basically we just take the wax paper off like this, I'm not going to make you wait for this, but anyways, well, that'll come off. And then I take a knife and a ruler and we mark all ends. We score it with our ruler, and then we cut this into 30 bars. Each bar weighs about, I'd say 3.5 ounces, something like that. So this goes into 30 bars. Then what happens is we cut it, we stack it. So we stack it back here. And all these soaps back here are drying out. Soap actually needs to dry out for about 2 to 3 weeks before you use it. Now technically, you could, if we cut this today, I could send this home with you today and you could use it in the shower today. However, it will be ridden with moisture, so it will disappear quickly. We don't want it to disappear quickly. We want it to last as long as possible. The harder a bar is, the longer it lasts. So really what needs to happen is this needs to dry out for 2 to 3 weeks. Humidity is a big factor, so we usually try to run some fans in here and keep everything drying out quickly because we sell it very quickly. We have a lot of specialty soaps that we make for all types of different skin issues. I like to tell people that you can solve 90 to 95% of any skin issue with a good bar of soap. It all starts with a good bar of soap. So let's look at some of the specialty soaps that we have. This one is a pine tar soap. It's very plain, very simple. There's no scent in it, and there's pine tar in it. Pine tar is actually a natural antioxidant, antifungal. A lot of people with psoriasis, we start them off on a bar of soap like this because the pine tar is like a nice added ingredient. And let's go to this soap. This soap is actually one of the top sellers. This is a sweet orange soap. It's got goat's milk and African black soap in it. Let's talk about African black soap for a minute. It's the only soap in here that I don't make. We make over 100 varieties of soap, and African black soap is the only soap I don't make, and it looks like this. This is made in Africa. It's 50% shea butter. It's very, very high shea butter content, so it tends to be a little bit mushy. People don't seem to mind it. It adds a ton of moisture into your skin. My soap is doing that as well. I'm not 50% shea butter, so this is a different density and consistency than my soaps are. As you know, shea butter is one of the 7 ingredients I use, and this would be 50%. We sell a lot of African black soap. Okay. So that has pieces of the African black soap in it. That's what this is. Okay, another one of the specialty soaps is poison ivy soap. We were talking about that earlier, and a lot of people are getting poison ivy right now. The secret to the soap, and we also make a salve, is jewelweed. And let me go get that and show you what the jewelweed plant looks like. So we picked this jewelweed this morning. So this, my friends, is the natural cure to poison ivy. So if we're making the soap, what we do is I put the jewelweed in a juicer, and we make a juice, and then we put that juice into the soap. And that, the jewelweed in the soap and the salve is what is really doing a number on the poison ivy. It's going to make it go away. The soap is more of a preventative. When you've been working out in the garden or pulling weeds or something like that, and you've come back in, you don't see it on you, but you're assuming you've gotten the oil on you from the poison ivy, and you put it over your skin, and you should not get it if you're using the soap. If you already see the bumps, then you need the salve, and we're going to talk about the salve a little bit later because we will be making that. Very simple ingredients, very natural ingredients, and jewelweed is definitely a factor in that. Okay, we also have a baby soap. We have several unscented soaps, but this is the baby soap. We put goat's milk in it and no scent. So 7 ingredients, goat's milk, no scent, for sensitive skin as well. Okay, so this is a neem oil soap. Neem oil, N-E-E-M, neem oil. It comes from a sacred tree in India, very, very healing. So there's neem oil in this soap. Neem oil has a very distinctive smell, so it's not for everyone. I personally love it. Some people don't. It does have an odor to it. Okay, while we're talking about odors, let's talk about the sulfur soap. It's a very stinky soap. and there's a bunch of sulfur in it, okay? So this is really, really good for acne. And we also make 2 other soaps that are good for acne as well. This is the facial soap, okay? It's unscented and has goat's milk and has clay in it, okay? So basically what the clay is doing is the clay is taking out oils, taking out toxins, and that's why it's going to clear up minor acne because of the clay in that. But yet it's not drying you out. When you come in here, a lot of people tell us, you know, what skin issue they're having. We give them samples to take home. So we usually, if someone has mild acne, we'll send them along with this soap. If they have someone, usually a teenager, but we see all ages having more of a severe case of acne, then the charcoal soap is the soap that we're recommending. I've been making the charcoal soap for about 2 years. We've been making the regular facial soap for about 8 or 9 years. This one is almost a top seller right now. And once again, charcoal is deep cleansing. It's good for your skin. It's pulling out a lot of oil. So that's what we say when someone has major acne, that it's really doing a number on it. It's really going to clear it up. And no, it's not charcoal from my grill. It is powdered, activated, cosmetic grade charcoal. Costs about $80 or $90 for 16 ounces of it, and it's been a really, really good seller. So those are the 3 soaps that we're recommending for acne. Okay, so let's talk about, we talked about earlier about the soap being in the wooden molds. I can also pour soap in silicone molds. Yes, these are silicone molds for baking, and no, I'm not a good baker. I stick with soap. So anything that I ever see at the store that has a silicone mold is definitely usable for soap. What we need is we need the flexibility so we can pop the soap out of the mold. We couldn't put it in, you know, one of the aluminum molds or like a cast iron mold because we need the flexibility. So these are just a couple examples of silicone molds. And then here's some results that you're going to see when we take them out of the silicone molds. Okay, we've done graduation hats. That is the smell of success. Here we have the fairy. You guys just saw the fairy mold right there. So when we pop the fairies out of the mold, they look like that. There's a flower. This is a sand castle. That's pretty fun. There we have a street rod. We got a 3-tiered cake. Then we got a couple other little soaps. These are just a couple examples. We have a lot of different special mold soaps. So, and they change every day. And then this was a fun one. This is an ice cream cone with a little puff on top. And then later we're going to be decorating this. Okay, we just got this mold, and that's a slice of chocolate cake. Of course, it is a soap, and we will not be eating it. So we're going to decorate that later. Okay, so let's talk about coloring in soaps. So here's the natural colors that we use. They're pigments and oxides from the earth. Okay, they're not, if I was to use a liquid coloring or a liquid dye, the ingredients in there are unnatural. So I stick with natural pigments and oxides, so it keeps whatever I'm doing 100% natural. And some of the examples you can see back here, but we have many different colors, and you pan on that, and I want to show you one of the newest ones we did with a lot of different colors. Okay, so right now we're going to pop these out of the silicone molds. It's this easy. Okay, what we did is I poured the soap, and then it cooled, but then we put it in the freezer, so it pops out a lot easier. So that's an example of the soaps coming out of a silicone mold. Once again, these will have to dry for about 2 weeks. This is actually for a special order that we're doing. A lot of people need baby shower gifts, birthday gifts, if they're having a birthday party, baby shower, bridal shower, stuff like this. I believe this one's for a bridal shower that we're working on. And then these are other examples just in a day's work. Oh yeah, we're glittering fairy wings. It's not really work around here, it's just fun. Okay, now we saw this earlier. We just made these, they were in the freezer, they popped out of the mold, they've been drying out for about 2 days. I've never done this before. Usually I'm putting a soap on top. This is actually a real frosting. I'm gonna see, this is just a prototype that we're working with. We're gonna see what a real frosting does and if it hardens up. And if it's gonna work, then we will sell it. If not, like I say, this is just a prototype. And then we're gonna be selling these soaps like this right here. Okay? Okay, so that's just some examples of silicone molds and what we can do with silicone molds. So let's go back to soap again. The lather that you're getting from our soaps is coming naturally. We told you about the 7 ingredients, the shea butter, the cocoa butter, the castor oil, the coconut oil, things like that. 2 of our ingredients are naturally high lathering ingredients. That would be castor oil and coconut oil. Okay, so the lather that you see, we're going to show you that later at the sink, but the lather that you're seeing with our soaps is coming naturally versus something that you're using, a commercial soap, which they have sodium lauryl sulfate in it. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a cheap lathering agent that's added to a lot of things commercially. Shampoos, dishwashing liquid, laundry detergent, toothpaste, and of course shampoos. Okay, so let's talk about shampoos. How many of you out there use shampoo? Ooh, I caught you. You don't use shampoo. No, you do. And it probably comes out of a bottle. Okay, it doesn't need to. This is our alternative to a shampoo that comes out of a bottle. Number one, you're not wasting packaging. Okay, it's not coming in a plastic bottle. This is package free. Once it's gone, it's gone. This is our shampoo bar. We changed the ingredients up a little bit. There's a little bit of beeswax in here. There's almond oil. There's apricot kernel oil. But basically, you're taking this bar of soap and putting it on your hair. So let's say you're in the shower. Okay, your hair's wet. You're taking either our bar of soap, which is going to work as well, or this shampoo bar. Okay? And you're putting it on like this, and you're actually seeing a really, really nice lather that's not coming from sodium lauryl sulfate or a long list of chemicals. I'm telling you, go look right now, well actually when this is over, at the ingredients in your shampoo bar, in your shampoos. There's a lot of things you're not going to recognize. You won't recognize one ingredient, and that's water. Of course, we use water too, but all the ingredients in here are natural. And you're going to see a nice lather, okay? So you're lathering it up and you're rinsing it out, and this is what you're using as shampoo, okay? So the best feedback we get on this, we've been making this for about 8-9 years, is people with gray hair and dry hair. You are putting a lot of oils and moisture into your hair. Okay, so if you have oily hair, might not be a good idea, but you could still try it. If you have normal hair, maybe you could only use it 3 times a week, but maybe you can use it every day. So you kind of have to find what's best for you on this shampoo bar. Okay, let's talk about lotions. Talked about them a little earlier, but here we are again. This is the whipped cream lotion that we make right here. Believe it or not, there's only about 6 ingredients in this. Go look at the ingredients at your store-bought lotions. You're going to see a huge long list. And you're going to recognize the water. Again, it's similar to a shampoo where you're seeing a lot of ingredients, but you really don't know what anything is. All the ingredients in our whipped cream lotion, you know exactly what's in it. It's almond oil, it's apricot kernel oil, there's some vegetable glycerin. It's bound together with emulsifying wax. And you can see over here, we're about to make this. And this is what a lotion starts off as. This is distilled water, real simple. This is our other about 4 or 5 ingredients. One of those, like I said, is this emulsifying wax that actually binds oils and waters together. It's how it's staying together. And let's talk about a preservative. The preservative I'm using, no one else that I know of uses. Number one would be the fact that for this size, it costs about $200, okay? This is grapefruit seed extract, okay? That is a natural preservative, and that's what we're using in here. Other people that are preserving things in other companies, it's usually propylene glycol, and that is a synthetic petroleum-based preservative. We're not using that, okay? So this is the result we're gonna see, and what we're gonna do is we're going to heat this up, and then we're gonna check back, and we're going to be making the lotion. Okay, we are now making a lotion. It takes a really short time period here. Go ahead, Cass. Okay, so what's happening is this is thickening up a little. We had our melted ingredients that you saw earlier. We had our distilled water that you saw earlier. And it's all coming together. If you could feel this, it feels rather hot. So what it needs to do is it needs to cool down. The cooler it gets, the thicker it gets. As you saw from our finished lotion a couple minutes ago. But this is actually thickening up pretty fast. So the only thing that's missing right now is that preservative that we talked about. And no, I'm not using propylene glycol or anything bad in it. I'm using the best for you, grapefruit seed extract. So let's add that, and then we will integrate that in there. Okay, not very much at all, okay? But it is preserving it naturally, and that's what we want. So now that's going in there. Okay, so now it's all blended up together, and now we just wait. Technically, I guess I could bottle this up and sell this to you right away, but it will be a hot bottle. So it's best that it sits for about a day and cools off. The next product we're making today is called a lotion bar. A lotion bar takes the place of a lotion. It's really, really intense. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, there's 3 simple ingredients in it. There is beeswax, that's what's making it hard and holding it together package free. And then there is shea butter, we've already seen that, great ingredient, and there's coconut oil. So 3 simple ingredients, and then we put some essential oils in here. I believe in this one we've put lemon, lime, and orange for a nice summery, fruity type of smell. But basically the lotion bar, it's kind of oily, greasy, and you twirl it around in your hands, and it's really intense. It's really good for heels, dry patches, elbows, feet, things like that. If you need something really, really intense. A lot of people keep it in the purse, so you could do that with this. The tin, we also make real small ones that you keep in a smaller tin. That way if you want to carry it in your purse, nothing's going to happen. You can keep it at your nightstand or in a desk drawer. So that's what most people do with them. And then when you feel like if your hands, a lot of nurses use the lotion bar here, where you're washing your hands a lot, but the beeswax is almost acting like kind of a protective for your hands. So if you're washing them a lot, they're not going to become raw and chapped up and everything. So this is really intense. So basically I melted those ingredients while you went to get a snack. You missed it. And right here we're pouring it in. So I could be pouring this in a silicone mold. But this is the shape that I've decided that we're going to do today. Got the dragonfly there. And so basically we pour this. It's fairly hot, and it's going to cool off pretty quickly because of the beeswax. And when it's good enough to take from the counter here, we will put it in the freezer and get it on its way really quickly. So we don't have to sit and wait for hours. We will wait for about a half hour while it's in the fridge or the freezer. Okay, this is a little bit different. This is the massage bar. Okay, we're going to show you the final result of this in a minute. What you're seeing in there is adzuki beans. So they will stimulate, woo, there you go. This is the final product of that. That's the massage bar. So you can tell it's really nubby and knobby there, and it's gonna make for a good massage. So same thing, except beans in here, no beans. So the body butter is a little bit different than the lotion bar that we just poured. The lotion bar has beeswax in it, and it's package free. This does not have beeswax, so it is not package free. It's a little bit softer, as you can see right here. It's softer than the lotion bar. It really melts fairly quickly. We're not making that today, but I wanted to show you an example of the body butters that we make. The foot butter is actually similar as well, but instead of grapefruit scent in that, a grapefruit essential oil, there is peppermint essential oil. Peppermint is good for your feet. And then this is just one of the other products that we make as well. This is the lip balm. Very similar to the lotion bar. It's cocoa butter, almond oil, beeswax, and this is a really good product as well. Very good. Did you know that the ingredients in our banana skin smoothie are edible? Okay, let's get down to it. I got 5 ingredients here, okay, that we will be integrating into the banana smoothie. Okay, here's our cocoa butter. This should be melted, and I just realized that, so I'm gonna change it up with some melted cocoa butter that we have in the back. Cast 10 ounces, I believe. And can you double check that in the recipe? Yeah. So let's get these ingredients going a while. So what we want to do is we need to pour this into molds, so it does need to be a little bit more liquidy, and that's what we're going to do now. Got that. And our last ingredient. Oops, you know what? I forgot to put that other banana in there. It is called a banana skin smoothie. We need lots of bananas. As you can see over here, the final product looks like this. So this is the bar you're taking into the shower, and you're rubbing it up and down your arms, your legs, your body, and you kind of gently rinse it off, and your skin feels really nice and silky smooth from the wonderful ingredients that are in here. Okay, this is looking really good, and we're ready to integrate the cocoa butter in here. The cocoa butter in this one is actually going to make it harden pretty fast. We would never add beeswax in something that you're taking into the shower, because that would be like oil and water together. As you can see, it kind of changed the color of it a little. Got a little bit golden color going on here. I have to say, I think we're done. Whoopsie. Now what I'm going to try to look at now is make sure all the bananas are not sitting on the bottom. Sometimes they do. Okay, and let's take a look at this one. This is a similar product right here. This is the coffee butter bar. It's made a little bit differently. Right there is some coffee butter that we use. Coffee, as I did say earlier in the show here, coffee grounds are cellulite reducing, and coffee butter is actually good for your skin too. A lot of people put the actual coffee butter under their eyes to reduce puffiness. There's a lot of other good reasons to use coffee butter too. But once again, this is a bar you're taking in the shower after you've soaped, after you've rinsed. You're putting this on kind of like a lotion type of thing and rinsing it off afterwards. The next product we're going to be making is a bath fizzy. Bath fizzy is a really simple product. It's held together with cocoa butter. As you can see from watching us, we use cocoa butter a lot. Again, for this next thing, we're going to be using some melted cocoa butter. This is what the bath fizzy looks like. Today we're making a blackberry vanilla bath fizzy. Blackberry vanilla is the #1 seller right now, so it's pretty hot. Whether it be a lotion or a soap or a bath fizzy, people do like that smell. This is the package-free scrub. We're making that too today. And that is held together with cocoa butter as well. So you'll see how we make these, and we're going to get into it right now. Okay, the first thing is the bath fizzy, so that's what we're going to be working on. So we got that. We've got this. And this is citric acid. This is actually what's going to make the fizzy fizz. Okay. Now, in this one, we want to add a little bit of the natural coloring. This is a pigment or an oxide from the earth, and we need to integrate this color in before we add our cocoa butter. I don't like to add too much coloring because your bath will be colored, so we don't want you coming out looking like Barney if we make it too purple. Okay, so as you can see, that's pretty good. Now, I want you to tell me what this is in real life. Right here. You want to guess what this is? In my life, it's a fizzy maker, but apparently in real life, this is a meatballer. Okay, so that's what we're using. That's what's going to form the bath fizzy. Okay, I kind of always just go by eye on this. Sometimes I get too much cocoa butter and that's going to be bad, but let's see if we can make it work. That's the scent that I just put in. That's the blackberry vanilla. You actually have to work pretty quick here because what I want is a biscuit type consistency, and it can dry out pretty quickly. It's actually pretty good, and I will get the fizzy maker in here and let's see how good we can get these. Perfect. Once again, this is held together with cocoa butter. So once these harden, it will be a hard ball that you could probably even drop on the ground and it's not going to break. Okay, so we're running some hot water. We're pretending we're in the bathtub. Okay, that's the batch of fizzies we just made. Ooh, I smell blackberry vanilla and it smells awesome. So you can see how the citric acid there is creating the reaction, the fizzy reaction. There's the pieces. See that? Now this actually feels really moisturizing because it was held together with cocoa butter. You always have to be careful with bath fizzies because right now all the ingredients have dissipated into the tub, but as you can see, there's going to be a layer of cocoa butter on the top. So we want you to get out of the tub before you drain it, because that layer of cocoa butter, if you drain the tub before you get out, is going to be on the bottom of the tub and you could possibly slip. So we never want any accidents. So you have to be careful with bath fizzies, then because of the cocoa butter, it could get slippery. Now while we're at the sink here, I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you how our soap lathers up naturally. Earlier in the segment, we had talked about the ingredients, the 7 basic ingredients, and how coconut oil and castor oil are natural high latherers. So this is our soap tester that's been here for a while. So can you see the lather right there? Not a commercial lather, but, and boy does this soap feel good. I'm telling you, you've got to come see us. We do tours all the time. Our shop's open usually 6 days a week, so come see us. Now this one, this is our scratchiest soap. This is our coffee ground soap. I'm gonna twirl it around in my hands. A lot of people, when they're gardening, they use this one. But I'm telling you, 90% of the people use it in the shower because they like to create scratchiness on their skin. It's like an exfoliant, really. Now that's a darn good lather. Tell me it isn't. Okay? This is about the third top seller right here. It smells like peppermint and cinnamon. And then there's actually espresso grounds in it. Okay? This is a package-free body scrub that we're making. So you're in the shower, you've soaped, you've rinsed, and you want a body scrub. This is not your traditional body scrub with almond oil and sugar or salt that you're putting on and it's kind of liquidy. This is totally different. Once again, this is package-free, so once you're done with it, there's absolutely no packaging that you've wasted. There's no plastic or anything. This is held together with cocoa butter. There's a lot of organic sugar in here, which is really, really nice. This is a very scratchy product. You want to be scratched up when you use this little guy in the shower. And you're just putting it up and down your skin. You're doing some major exfoliation. And then you're gently rinsing it off, and it feels nice and silky smooth because of the cocoa butter. Okay, so let's get right down to it. So, as you can see, this is a lot like baking. 3. Okay, and then I like to use organic sugar just because, woo, it's totally awesome. It's very fine. It's obviously high quality, hasn't been put through a process. It's just really nice to work with. Like once you've worked with organic sugar, you just cannot go back. Okay, let me take a little bit of this out. Okay. So what we're making right now, the scent is going to be lavender. This one that we pictured earlier was almond, and we put an almond smell in it, and this is going to be lavender. Okay, so the two ingredients are pretty well mixed up. Spatula or spoon. So what do you think of this? Never said it was a clean business. Okay, similar to the fizzy, because we're holding some ingredients together with cocoa butter, but we wanted a lot more cocoa butter with this one because we're putting it into a silicone mold and it needs to be liquidy. It cannot be over dry, so we really need to make it as liquidy as possible. Now we're going to add the lavender scent. This is an essential oil. This comes from a plant. Ooh, it's nice and lavendery. Once again, this kind of dries out quickly, so we always need to work fast around here. Fast and furious. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Nope, still got some dryness. Okay, I think we're all ready to put this in the molds. We will see the final product later. We're going to pop these into the freezer or the fridge and should actually get them on their way drying really quickly. So once again, as you can see, these are very simple ingredients, but high quality ingredients. Nothing but the best for you. This was a rose mold, so it looks like we're going over to the zinnia mold, if that's a zinnia. I'm not a green thumb, I'm sorry. And you see how we're working fast here. Cannot have this dry up on us. We make another crazy body scrub with coffee in it. We're going to show that to you next. And that's this one right here. Pretty simple again. There's some shea butter in there. Most of it's coffee grounds. There's organic sugar. It's kind of giving it that sparkly white kind of look in there. That's the organic sugar. I believe there's some almond oil that we put in there. The scent is cinnamon and peppermint together. It actually matches the soap that we used over at the sink a couple minutes ago. So this is a body scrub that you take. It will come in plastic packaging like that. Whoopsie. And then we're going to ground that in like that. And then we're going to rinse it off. It's messy, but people do like this one, and that's the coffee scrub. So you've gone out and got poison ivy. We can help you. Okay, this is jewelweed right here. Jewelweed is the natural cure to poison ivy. It grows in a lot of places, mostly hand in hand with poison ivy. If you're out in the woods and you know you've probably gotten poison ivy on you, if you look for this plant, you can crack the stem open, get the juice out, put it on you, and you should not get it. If you're not confident in what jewelweed looks like, you better not go putting any plant on you. It might be bad news. But this is a little wilty. We picked it this morning, so the leaves aren't too great. But what happens here is we make the salve. All natural ingredients. We had some lavender in there. But the secret to this salve is this right here. This is almond oil, but it's been infused with jewelweed. What we did earlier was we took a regular almond oil, and then we cut up a whole bunch of jewelweed stems. And this was a couple days ago, so granted it is a little brown here, but we saved this. We came up with this a couple days ago. This has been in the refrigerator waiting for our next batch. We sell a ton of these salves, so we have to keep cranking them out. Consequently, jewelweed really can only be picked for the next, probably till mid-June. Then what happens is they get flowers. So that means there's not so much juice in their stem. So the window of opportunity for picking jewelweed and using the juice is pretty much like mid-May to beginning of June. So I have to do all of the jewelweed picking and juicing and infusing in this 3-week period for the whole entire year. And let me tell you, people were even coming in the winter with poison ivy. If they're moving firewood or something, there could have been poison ivy on that. People were getting it. Sometimes I think it just floats in the air. Some people get it very easily. What this jewelweed salve also does is soothes bug bites. So if you're really, really itchy from bug bites, you could put this on. It will take the itching away almost immediately. So jewelweed is kind of comforting as far as it's making your bug bites less itchy. Now, you wouldn't have gotten the bug bites in the first place if you would have used our bug repellent. And I know you can't see this because it is in a white bottle, but this is a really, really simple recipe. It's distilled water with citronella oil. Citronella is a natural bug repellent, okay? There's no artificial anything in this, and this actually does work. We've been making it for years and years. People swear by it. It is amazing what you can do naturally to prevent things. This would be a really good item if you're going on a picnic or a hike or something and you tend to really get bit by bugs. You just spray it on you. You could spray it on your hair, your hat, your clothing, your skin, a blanket, a chair. If you're going to the fireworks or something, you could, like I say, put it on your blanket or your chair, and the bugs will not bite you, I promise, or you will get your money back if you bought this. Okay, so let's go back to the jewelweed salve. Okay, here's my basic ingredients here. These are beeswax pellets. Okay, rather than using one chunk of beeswax, which is very, very hard to chisel off the block. It's very, very hard to melt. Takes a long time. I buy them in the pastille form right there. So that's what that is. So what we're going to do is combine these into one bowl, and then we do have to melt this, and then we pour it. So we will be right back. This is your jewelweed, the start of the jewelweed salve, the poison ivy salve. Okay, we have our 7 basic ingredients in here to make soap. What we've done is we've weighed the ingredients, we've put them in the pot, we've melted them, and we've cooled them, and that's what you're seeing right now. It's kind of like a room temperature feeling here. You have your melted oils and butters in here ready to make soap. And let me tell you, there's only one way to make soap, and that is you need to cause a chemical reaction. I need to combine my oils and butters with sodium hydroxide with distilled water. Okay, so we're going to do that in a minute, but I'm going to explain to you how this is going to happen, and you're going to see it as well. But basically, when the 2 items combine, a chemical reaction happens, something called saponification. The molecules meet and soap is being formed. It actually happens very, very quickly. So we're going to get this all that you can see it here, and you know what I'm doing. So right now, the chemical reaction's already happening. We're making a blueberry soap. This is the blueberry scent. Those were pieces of dried blueberries. Uh-oh, we've got some chunks there. So what the blueberry pieces are going to do, it's going to be a little bit scratchy on your skin, but people like to be scratched up. I've learned that. A lot of soaps we make don't have anything in it to scratch you, so it feels like a really soft soap. But this one's going to have a little bit of scratchiness to it. And I don't want you to, I don't want to let you think that that bar soaps are difficult to use. I know a lot of you out there are really used to your body washes and your shower gels. I know they're really, really, really convenient, but I'm going to ask you to look at the ingredients and tell me what you recognize there. You're not going to recognize much. I just ask you to try a bar soap. You can put so many great ingredients in it. And if you actually use one of the puff things and rub it on my soap about 4 or 5 times, you get a whole nice lathery shower with that. So your soap doesn't have to sit in there and get mushy or anything. If you take care of it, a bar soap is just wonderful. And if you're used to the body washes and stuff, I think you should try a bar soap, and I think you would really, really, really like it. Okay, now what we need to do on top is we need to decorate the top. We're going to swirl the top. Give me one moment, I'll be right back. We use a highly technical tool to swirl this. That would be a popsicle stick. Okay, so as you can see, it's not holding a swirly type decoration that we usually like to do up here. So we'll give it like a minute or two. Just so you know what we're talking about. We want to get this effect right here on these 2 previous ones that we did. So this is the effect we're going for. We just poured this, so it might take a minute or 2 or 3 here to get a nice swirl. We're working on a loofah soap next. Believe it or not, this is a bar of soap, but there's a loofah in it, and it looks like this. Okay, so we will be making a batch of soap, and instead of pouring it into a box mold or a silicone mold, we're actually going to be leaving it in the pot and putting the pieces of loofah in there, and then we're going to make the soap that way. So we will see that right now. This is orange patchouli lavender clove, a very, very popular scent. So let's go ahead and get these loofahs in there. And then they kind of sit for a bit. What I try to do is put some extra soap on them so that the soap does go in there. People like these soaps because at first you're using it and it's not so scratchy, but then you get down to the loofah and it gets scratchy. And then after a bunch of uses, of course, you're going to be left with just the loofah. And that's when I tell people you could use it, you know, for anything. You could still use it with other soap to scrub up with. You could use it, you know, to scrub your, you know, shower stall if you wanted. Usually, I believe we get maybe 20 to 25 loofahs out of a batch. We'll see here. The scent, I believe I told you before, was orange patchouli lavender clove. It smells really nice. Smells like I'm at a Grateful Dead concert. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, here comes another one right at ya. Don't know what that is, but that's gone. If you heard that buzzer in the background, that is our poison ivy salve that was warming up oh so long ago. It's ready again, and we'll get to that soon. Okay, we're finishing up our poison ivy salve. As you might remember, we had a couple ingredients that we needed to melt, and we're finishing up with the melting process here. Right now we're just trying to integrate these little beeswax pieces into the rest of the recipe. I'm going to add some lavender essential oil in here. I like to add that because lavender's healing, lavender's soothing. Everybody loves lavender. It's a little addition to the salve that makes it really nice. And I believe we're ready to pour. We have two sizes. We have a small and we have a large. Let's see if we can do it. And these dry fairly quickly with the beeswax. They harden up pretty fast. Okay, skipping to the big. And remember the secret ingredient, the jewelweed infused almond oil. We're going to do a really colorful soap next. This is new experimentation here. The soap is our canvas. So we're going to shake things up a bit. Instead of pouring it into the mold right away, we're going to pour it into different bowls, do some different colors, and have some playtime here. So here we go. So let's say this will be the pink. This will be the black. This will be the blue. And we'll have our green over here. Okay, let's see what it's gonna look like. Sometimes with these natural colors, you need to use more to get what you want, so that was a lot more. what we're trying to do is integrate the dry coloring in there. I think that's decent. Okay, now let's move to the green. That's a lot easier. That's your green. Now we're going to go to the blue. I think I want this to be darker. So let's add more. I'm going to go darker yet. Okay, going for the black. Keeping in mind that we have to still work really fast here. Okay, so this is how we do this. So that was our reserved colorless soap. And by the way, the smell on this one is Hawaiian Punch, and it smells awesome. It's a brand new scent that we're trying out. Okay, I think I want to do the black first. Every batch of soap is different. We just don't know how this is going to come out, so we just hope for the best and go with it. Okay, let's do the pink next. Kind of want it on top. Okay, going to blue next, let's say. You can see the soap's getting a little bit more harder there, a little bit thicker. So this is why I'm now working faster. Got to get it out of here, got to get it into the mold, got to get it stirred up. And now we go to the final green. This is crazy, this is crazy. Okay, now's the fun part. So by putting the popsicle stick the whole way down, we want to get the color throughout the soap, not just on top of the soap, but throughout. Otherwise, it would just be colorful on top, but we want to see it through the whole bar. And even this guy who's going to get the end piece, he needs to get some color over there. Reminding you that each of these batches is cut into 30 bars. The pink is not so predominant up here, but there's a lot of black up there. What are you going to do? Sometimes when you mess with it too much, you just ruin it. So I think we're going to be done in a minute here. And to quote Bob Dylan, someday everything's going to be different when I paint my masterpiece. I think we'll let it at that. Well, we've had a lot of soapy fun today, and it doesn't have to end. You can come to my shop anytime you'd like. We'd love to have you. We do factory tours. You can see soap being made in person. You don't have to watch it on TV. You can just call us, email us. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. We actually have girls' night out parties, kids' parties, where it's about 2 hours of nothing but fun. And if you need us, we just want you to ring. Thanks for coming on our tour today. We hope to see you soon, right here in downtown York. And until then, may the soap be with you. you.